All right. Welcome,
Welcome.
everybody. Welcome to
We're Two
episode
Tab
1.
Anime. Here we review anime that we haven't seen.
Right. So, as of that same vein, let's see here. Quick intro. I'm Ash.
Jazz, Mayday.
I'm Kenny.
And
Kenny. Yeah.
This is Two Tap Anime. We are essentially pick 6 simulcast shows, and every week we randomly decide 2 of them. And last week, if you kind of watched episode 0, you noticed that the 2 episodes that we picked were Woodpecker Detective's Office and the Misfit of Demon King Academy. We're going to go ahead and read the Crunchyroll bios again for each of these shows, and then we're going to freely speak in order. Whoever wants to speak first about how they like the show, what they didn't like about the show, and initial reactions, reviews, and etc. etc. So, what show should we start with first?
You want to flip a coin, or do we have opinions? Because
what do you feel? What do you guys want to talk about first? Like, which one stood out to you more that you want to talk about, like, right now?
Well, stood out in a good or bad way.
It doesn't matter. Don't worry about that.
I want to save the detective's office because I have a lot of interesting and really good things to say about it. However, I think I just want to jump in on the dog pile of Demon King Academy.
I agree.
We're gonna shit on Demon King Academy. All right, let's go.
I wouldn't say shit on, but
we're gonna shit on it.
Yeah,
all right, let's go.
I think so.
Go ahead and read the Demon King Academy.
Welcome to the episode.
Welcome. All right, so for segment 1, we are going to be reading. Discussing the Misfit of Demon King Academy. Yeah. So, if you weren't here last week, it is Anos Voldegard is a tyrannical demon king that eradicated humans, spirits, and even the gods, but became bored of eternal warfare and was reincarnated with dreams of a peaceful world. However, what awaited him in reincarnation after 2,000 years were descendants who became too weak after being accustomed to peace and all sorts of magic that deteriorated to the extreme. Anos entered Demon King Academy that gathers and educates those who are viewed as a reincarnation of the Demon King, but the Academy could not see through his true powers and ends up branding him as a misfit. All right. We will probably upload a picture of the trailer poster. However, we had kind of already made some forethoughts about it, and man, I hate being right. I just I hate being right. I mean, buddy. I still want to go in. I went in with that happy mindset, right, or that positive. It was a bit rough. It was a bit rough.
Optimism will kick you in the balls.
I really did think that.
Damn.
I didn't expect more, but I somehow managed to get less.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Agreed.
I don't know if any of you guys have seen that beautiful image of Dewey, like on his birthday. Like I expected nothing, and still am somehow disappointed. It's perfect, I guess, encapsulation of how I felt watching those first 2 episodes. I'm gonna go ahead and let Jazz go first. I kind of want to see what he thought.
Oh, we're gonna need like a title screen or whatever, some kind of transition. Be like, boom, Demon King.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I also do want to preface that while we watched these 2 episodes, we all watched them on our own. That way, each one of us was not influenced by the other. Comments that were made, we're all kept to ourselves. I also want to preface before we get started as well. I was the first one to finish all 4 episodes, and I wanted to so bad to talk to these 2 losers about how I felt. Jesus Christ. I think it was the hardest 2 days to just look at Jazz at the dinner table and just be like, so, have you finished those episodes yet? And no, I haven't started. I'm just like slowly suffocating inside, right? Because I have so many good and bad things to say about both of these things.
You had to write it down.
I know I did. I just had to
put it in your
diary
the day before recording and just be like,
seriously. I have like my phone in front of me with my notes on these shows.
All right, notes.
Go ahead, Jazz. I've stalled for long enough.
Misfit of Demon King.
Oh God.
Academy. Forgot to say that part. I just like abbreviated Demon King. This is what we're calling it now, or the Misfit.
Might as well. Yeah.
Might as well.
Okay. So first and foremost, all of my notes are in chronological order. But first and foremost, whenever we were talking about the title, one of the things I mentioned was the overpowered protagonist, right?
Yeah.
And granted, that's kind of part of the story, but just from what we grasped from looking at the cover, it's like you said, I hate being right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Predictability is kind of a turnoff for me, if that makes sense. So if you can just look at the cover and tell what it is, it's already a no.
Right.
I don't know. A lot of the lines and ideas that I've had between holding in all my thoughts, I don't know if I thought this myself while I was waiting for the recording session, or if we actually talked about it in episode 0. But the predictability of that anime was just off the charts. It was,
Yeah, we definitely did touch on that earlier.
Okay.
We were like, it looked pretty predictable. It looked exactly like what you thought was gonna happen.
This anime is the vanilla mayo, like cookie cutter white paste anime.
Yeah, dude, fucking waspy ass anime, bro.
Sorry, I interrupted.
So next in my list, I put like the obvious foreshadow in the sense of the intro, which kind of reveals him as like this overpowered being. But come to find out, that's not a secret, right? You find out he actually is the Demon King from 2,000 years ago. So the intro introducing him like that, I guess it doesn't take away from the story. Mm-hmm. After that, one of the big questions I had was, why are they looking for the Demon King? So if you see like 2,000 years in the future, whenever he's reincarnated, they have a whole academy set up trying to find who the reincarnation is, who the next Demon King is. Why? Why are they looking for him?
You know, you bring up really good questions that I wish I had the answers to.
Like, it makes sense, right? The dude was gone for 2,000 years. Maybe somebody wants to see him again, but wasn't this guy like a huge tyrannous, like, I say tyrannous? Tyrannous. I don't even know, but like
entity. We'll go entity.
Yeah, entity. Whatever he is, he basically was like what people didn't want around, and yet here they are 2,000 years later looking for him.
Well, everyone at that academy is technically like a demon or part demon. They have like
their own that actually brings up a question in the future. So they are all demon then?
They're like all descendant.
Like, they're all descendant of like a demon bloodline. So technically, yes.
I guess that makes sense.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that they apparently at some point they had set up like a demon royalty bloodline and hierarchy. I think that may also answer your question beforehand of like, why are they looking for him? I mean, if it's a group of demons, right? They want to serve their lord, I guess. This is, just speculation. This is, me just shooting a shot.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
They're all part demon. They probably want to serve their lord. They all speak very highly of him, and they, like I said, that royalty probably would at some point be like, all right, well, we got to find him as soon as possible. That way we can, that, and they also want to be the royal family that has the reincarnated Demon King in their family, so they can have bragging rights or something. But
yeah, that was another thing I noticed about this show is like they hold their bloodline to a really high standard. It's like nobility type stuff.
Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, I have a lot.
Jesus, my God,
that's a long list, bro.
Bullet points. Let's
hit the main points. Just hit the main points. We don't want to spend too long trashing this show. We already know it's
right.
Okay, I'm just gonna touch on each topic briefly and then move on. Right?
That'll work.
That'll work.
And so the next thing that I wrote down was the class of only 5. So when he went to the entrance exam, only 5 people are allowed to pass, and it's kind of like this is a whole class and only 5 are allowed to pass. That doesn't make any sense. Like, can you imagine going to school and your whole grade is 5 people?
So it didn't explain it, but I assume that like it's like a regularly occurring thing like throughout the year that they'll bring in 5 like maybe once a month or some shit.
Yeah, because
that's not how school works. It's an entrance exam.
It's a Demon King Academy.
They're literally trying to find somebody who is the reincarnation of a demon. Like I don't think they have a set core curriculum. I mean, granted they did, but like I don't think that they're trying to educate the masses. No, this is like a private Winnebago school. All right, like this is
Okay. Next point. His joke about the 3-second rule. I liked it.
That was a good one. I like that. I'll touch more on this stuff when I speak of, but I also like that.
That would have worked 2,000 years ago, and I was cracking up. I was like,
Get at least like 2 or 3 of those in the first 2 episodes.
And another thing is, like, as he's whooping this dude, his name is Zephys, right? As he was whooping him, the dude finally decides to give up, and everyone was like, you didn't know this dude was gonna lose? Or gonna give up, I mean. Obviously he was losing, right? But the moment where he's like, I give up, the whole crowd just loses it. And it's like, dang, you couldn't see this from the first 3 times he died?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying. The audience interaction was to amplify how, like, OP the main character was.
Oh yeah, so back on the class of only 5 entering through the entrance exam, they also had the assessment on top of that. So it was like they're weeding out 5 people. It doesn't make any sense. This is the assessment after the the tournament.
The tournament.
I liked his little birth scene. I thought that was hilarious. Dude's only a month old, right?
Yeah.
So that's just kind of funny how like poop and then grows up real fast. But his parents are pretty sick. They're the only characters I like in that whole show.
Oh yeah. I definitely want to touch on the parents too. The parents were just probably the best breath of fresh air that anime could probably provide.
Yeah. Dude, his parents are cool.
Anytime they were on screen, the amount of entertainment I had in the show just exponentially just grew.
Yeah, it went through the roof, honestly.
I'd honestly watch a show about that. Just the parents.
Seriously.
The parents' POV of their son getting accepted. I honestly would
love
that.
The entire show, put the parents in every scene.
I'd watch that.
I'd watch it, honestly.
Oh yeah.
The show is about them. A couple of things I did like. Hopefully you guys agree, or if you don't agree, these are facts.
Yeah, no.
So something that the main character does do correct is that he doesn't just attack. What's the word I'm looking for? He doesn't just attack without a purpose. Everything he does is like to make something out of it, and
he doesn't have bloodlust.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. He tries to turn everything into like a moral lesson.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like Mary Had a Little Lamb kind of moral lesson. It's more of like justice served in a sense. Like wherever it's needed, that's where he comes in and is like, hey, you need to sit back down, go back to your place, basically.
Right.
And I did like that about the show.
The ego checking was pretty cool.
To
certain people, at least.
He was like an attack on traditional protagonists. If that makes sense. I don't know if you guys are following with that.
He's like already super OP. He's got all the powers. It's a different.
Well, no, not even that. But like the scene where the hero comes in and tries to fight him, right? He's just reasoning with the hero, and the hero's saying all kinds of stuff that a normal hero in an anime would say. Like
he's like, that's dumb.
Yeah, basically.
He really calls out the
it was a direct attack on anime protagonists, and I was like, that's actually really cool.
I agree with you. The hidden gems like that in this anime, while they were few, they were really good. That one's a pretty cool one too, and I love how he even made like a wager with that same hero, the one that you're talking about. That was kind of like, oh, we need to defeat you because you're bad and you're a demon. He's like, all right, well, even if I isolate everyone. Like demons with demons, humans with humans, gods with gods. You humans would find another reason or another thing to turn against and turn into an enemy until eventually you just get to yourself. And I'm just like, okay, all right. I like this kind of.
It was almost like Lelouch in a sense. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I want to be making comparisons to Demon King and Code Geass, but if you want to make that line,
yeah, if you make that connection, that's on you. Yeah, but I get where you're coming from.
The anti-hero protagonist kind of.
Yeah, like he's trying to make peace. It's not the same way that Lelouch did her, because he kind of united everyone under, like against him. Yeah. The Demon King didn't really do that, although he is known as the Demon King. Maybe he did do that, but his way of going about it, separating people so that they have to put up with themselves before they are released back to everyone. It's an idea for peace. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Let them tolerate each other or themselves first before they go out to.
Yeah. You can really find out what the problem is if if things didn't work out in your own society. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm just skipping over a bunch of stuff. Oh, here's a big point. Why is he going to school?
That's something. This is something that I also wanted to mention as well, right? You would think that a school solely based to aptitude test children with how close they are to the Demon King. You would think that when this dude would literally start breaking instructors' seals, would kill and resurrect people, would flip entire castles with his pinky, like you would think that they would start to understand, hey, I think this kid actually might be the Demon King.
This might be him.
this might be him. You would think that they would realize that sooner.
Here's my argument to that. They don't fucking know anything.
That's true. That's very true. Actually, I
like they're very inept.
They can see that much.
Yeah, they're inept as fuck. So like, even if they see this shit very clearly, they're like, nah, can't be.
Couldn't be.
Yeah, it couldn't be him.
They're too focused on the royal bloodline to think that some
they're too stuck in their own way.
Kid would actually be the Demon King. Okay, but I mean, I don't know. There's pretty damning evidence within the first 2 episodes. I mean, some of the crap that this guy does. You look at that and you just see what some of the normal students can do, and you see what this guy is pulling out. And as stupid as I would be in that universe, right? As like, even if I was royalty or not, I would just look at that kid and just be like, okay, there's something up with this. Like, we found the winner.
Yeah. No, like if their tests were as accurate as they say it was, they should have just been like, oh, this motherfucker right here, he's the Demon King. Yeah.
Yeah, the dude broke the machine.
Yeah, like okay, so we were talking about predictability. I can't speak. Predictability, right?
There you go.
And like they showed like 2 people, then they showed like the white-haired girl Misha do it, and she had like a crazy number, and I was like, oh, so he's just gonna break it when he goes up there. So when they showed the 0, I laughed because it was like a 0, like. And then it broke, and I was like, there it is.
There we go.
Here we go. That's what I wanted.
They did a cool little psych, like
a little fake out. So
subverted your little expectation. Yeah.
The Zex, the magical contracts.
Yeah.
I thought those were really cool because they're sealed between 2 people, and my assumption is because of the magical seal, you can't break those contracts. Like you have to abide by it. I thought those were pretty cool, and then a lot of people that are headstrong about their opinions, they were just right into it. All right, let's seal it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I thought that was kind of cool. Like, because if you're wrong, you can't go back on it. That's sealed.
I thought that those that contract, I thought that they would use them a little bit less sparse, but they were throwing those things every 2 seconds in that show.
Dude, I think it's not because of the show. I think it's because of the people, right? They're just that headstrong.
Yeah, they're just that headstrong. Yeah. They think that they're so sure in themselves that I don't know. These people are challenging each other to Agni Kais left and right. You know what I mean? It was intense. It was every 2 seconds. It was just like, I will never go back on my word. I put my life on this. It just,
my man, the Agni Kais, man.
Yeah, it was. It essentially was that, though. It was just a duel between 2 people to the death, kind of.
But yeah, the idea behind it that is kind of forced behind magic. I do like that. That's the last good thing I'm going to say about this show. from here on out is the fact that the verdict is no. I'm not going to continue watching it. There are no likable characters aside from his parents. There are no likable characters. There's no clear story. Like, even though we'd have like the background of what's supposed to be happening, the dude is not really like, he's reincarnated. He goes to school. A great story. The action is subpar. Like, that's probably, if you're gonna have a shonen anime, the action has to be thrilling. You know what I mean? It has to be like, I want to watch this for the action. But no, the action was just. I'd say probably the best part was when they made that tank and shot it, and then he just went pew and then destroyed their cannon.
Right. Level one fire spell.
That's probably the best action in the whole first 2 episodes. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
All right, Kenny.
All right,
here we go.
Mine's real quick. Mine's are real quick. All right. I realized super early on that this is supposed to be satirical. Like, this isn't supposed to be like he is a hero or anything like that. It's just he just wants to be recognized again as the Demon King, right?
Okay.
He realizes that all these fucking people are idiots. They're just dumb. They okay. So he's trying to be peaceful about everything. But I do like that the little bit of backstory that they did show with the hero. I thought that was really good. They had really good moments and really good ideas, but as a whole, the show doesn't feel very cohesive. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's all one nice and smooth thing. It's just like, here's a good idea. Let's just fucking throw it here, and just here's like a really funny parental thing. Let's just throw it there, man. Let's just do that stuff, man. See, that's funny. That's great. That's gonna get laughs. And they're like,
dang, I love his parents, man.
Yeah, his parents are great. His parents
yeah,
are one of the best things about it.
Especially the dad.
I do have a big thing. When they showed like the castle being tossed around and shit, like those big animation set pieces, it looked like dog shit.
I'm gonna get to animation, but yes, I 100% agree with you.
A lot of the bigger animated parts looked like absolute dog shit. Like, I was just like, it looked like I can easily like suspend my belief and just like get into a show no matter how bad it is. But it's like shit like that really takes me out. Really takes me out. Another thing that took me out that I didn't like. So real quick, I need to make this note. I do like romance in shows. I like it doesn't have to be the main plot, but if it's like a good subplot, I'm into it. So when the little fucking pigtails girl, the fucking little bitch that was mean and shit to her and to the dude and her sister, like, I was like, and then like for her 15 minutes later to do like a quick 180 and just like
oh yeah, that was
just
so forced.
like she's holding hands with her sister now and she's like kissing the dude. I'm like, get me the fuck out of here, bro. Get me out. I want nothing to do with this show anymore. That said, I'm gonna watch 2 more episodes.
Oh no!
I'm gonna watch 2 more episodes.
You said 2 more.
2 more, at least 2 more.
Okay.
Two more the whole season.
No, because it is very ambiguous, and it does have a lot of good ideas, and I want to see if any of that coalesces into something decent. Right? Like, I want to see where it goes.
I think it has a chance, but I'm not willing to take that chance.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not willing to waste your time.
For me, I'm a little more willing because I'm not watching anything else, right? Like, it's other than this podcast, right? I kind of just like look for my own shit to watch. Right. So right now, because there's like a void in my watching schedule, I'm gonna give it 2 more episodes.
2 more episodes.
And then next episode, I'll tell you guys. Oh no, I'm all the way out. I fucking left.
Okay, I need to know. I'm glad that at least one of us, because I considered it, but completely honest, the same point that you quit was the same point that I quit. I'm gonna go into mine now. That was when I left. I saw the same gyms that you guys did, especially with like the weird anti-hero / like he looks at these humans or these half demon hybrids or whatever, and he's just like, y'all are dumb. The things that you're proud about are really stupid and really superficial. And he kind of I liked that idea that he was teaching these people how to, or just these mini moral lessons, right? Zeppis, he taught him and his brother to, I guess, get along. A lot of sibling, a lot of
taught them to get along, but they fucking got burnt to a crisp.
I mean, he killed him, and he knew that he could bring him back, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't. Regardless, I like that he somewhat still crosses those little lines, those little moral lines, because he's still technically a demon. He's kind of just out there in a weird way. But the moment that I really just checked out, I'm really glad it was the end of the second episode when they decided to do this, because had they done this, I don't know, maybe halfway or maybe at the very beginning of episode 2, I don't even know if I would have finished the second episode. Just that very super forced romance between him and Sasha, as well as just the complete 180 that she had. She was saying some like hurtful things about Misha in that classroom. She had a public platform. She roasted this poor girl in front of everyone, right? She's a soulless doll. I don't treat her as family. She really did just go out for her. And then it takes one afternoon. It takes the dude to spin her like a basketball inside of a castle, throw her across. And she's like, you know what? I love my sister.
I love her.
Well, at one family dinner, and that's it. I don't. And then the very cookie cutters like tsundere. It's not like I like you or anything. I honestly believe she might have said that. I honestly.
Nah, dude.
No, she said it was. Dude, it's between friends.
Yeah. No. Fuck that. That's bullshit.
Thank you.
Like, I get it. Like in high school, like love and lust and everything is just like, whoa, it's just like this fucking mess, right? You just do things because it just feels good, right? But like, I don't know. You don't just kiss someone like that and you're just like, oh, we're just friends. Like,
no one does that. No one does that.
I can't kiss any one of my lady friends right now, and it'd be not weird.
It's
not one.
I don't know, man. It was just the. Not to mention, okay, there are two. Kenny, you also brought this up. The animation was just so bad in certain parts. There were some parts where it really just stood out to me how bad the animation was, and I immediately knew that this is probably going to be a one-season simulcast at best. Oh, it was rough. Oh, it was rough in so many parts, especially in segments like the intro. I don't. Did you guys watch? I mean, obviously you did, but did you really pay attention in the intro song? Because they played the intro at the end of episode 1, and then played it again at the beginning of episode 2. There were certain movements that the characters were making that looked really stiff and robotic.
There was something I
couldn't help but laugh. There was
something I noticed in the intro that the way the three of them walked was literally the same way throughout the entire intro.
You know, like we did make the joke about the Berserk CG, like, you know, as he walked away. There were some moments in the intro as well as in the actual anime. I can't even properly think right. I was just so frustrated with. There were some segments where line art wasn't even done on certain characters. I mean, I'm not saying that it needs to be top quality production, but when it's a scene where you're literally just focusing on 2 characters, you think that you would maybe spend some time on making them look good if they're the main focus of the camera, right? Now, the CG looked kind of bad, but I mean, you got to cut corners when you need to cut corners, and I don't know. That really just took me out, and not only that, but the intro song, the only thing I could think of was like an AKG. Like a Diet Dr. Pibb AKG. That's what I felt. It was a band that looked at a lot of really popular anime intros and said, "Yeah, we could do something like that." We could do that. That's easy. That's that's easy. Meanwhile, you have people like AKG, or you have people like Rookies as Pug. You have people like like those people who are staple and have been in the industry for years and have been making they make anime intros for a living, and I feel, I don't know what this band is. I'm gonna get called out. I don't know, but this one song that they made for this anime, either they weren't paid enough and they did it in one afternoon. Like, yeah, we'll make you an anime intro. They could be fantastic. I don't know, but just specifically this intro was just so bad. It sounded, like I said, like a Diet Dr. Pibb of AKG.
Here's what I have to say about the music in this show, right? I have no notes on the music, which means nothing.
Maybe the background music was fine. Some of the character interactions were a bit weird. I mean, but that intro was just so bad.
There's zero chemistry between any characters except for the parents.
The parents, without a doubt, the comedy, every joke with him landed. I mean, they had somewhat of a weird like Jesse and James formula, right? Anos would show up at home, mom would immediately come out first. He'd be like, "Oh my god, my son!" and then sees a new girl with him, and at first she's completely just destroyed, but then she's just like, "Oh my god, you're so pure. No, who wouldn't love you, right?" And all
you're only a month old.
You're only a month old, and look at you go. And then the dad immediately would come in and be like, "I'm so proud of my son." It's just this formula of the parents, how they would always interact with him, and the joke just landed every time. I don't know how it really was the same joke, but god dang,
it's because they had this great wholesome energy. You couldn't help but like enjoy it. Like his parents were great. Like they're great characters. Like
I was really hoping.
Can't say the same for anyone else.
Yeah, they all seemed very robotic. They all seem very. You called the whole like. There's gonna be the shy one. There's the tsundere. There's gonna be the one that you really did call the carbon cutout.
Yeah, I was just like
cutout of each character, just looking at them. It was the accuracy just immaculate.
Not a good sign.
Not a good sign, right? I mean, it says more about how much anime that we have watched to be able to just immediately just look at one poster and just be like, okay, that's going to be garbage.
I can't even say I've watched that much anime, right? Like compared to you guys, I've watched considerably less anime.
That's very true. So as a verdict of will I continue? No, I don't think so. I think I've gotten most of what I want to out of that. I think Kodokawa really just wanted to sell.
You got something out of that?
The comedy, like there were a couple of jokes. I spent maybe 40 minutes on this, right? 22 minutes at it. Got me. I mean, every time the parents were on screen, I would laugh. And not to mention, like Jazz had mentioned, the Anos would throw a couple of really funny, like, 2,000 years ago, that would make me laugh. And it just, those jokes landed too. Yeah. So, I mean, I got a good, for 40 minutes, I don't think it was bad, right? I'm not screaming, oh, I hate this, because it wasted my time. But at the same time, I'm not going to let it waste any more of it.
Right.
I feel that.
Yeah. 2 episodes is enough. I think if you're, however, I do have something good to say about it though. If you don't know a lot about anime, but like you've kind of watched like the stereotypical, like the first few, like the big ones, right? I feel like if this might be somebody's like middle school first adventure out anime, right? And they might really enjoy that. I mean, I think that's kind of who they're targeting to begin with, as well as just the figures in general to sell for these waifus.
Does it pass as a first anime?
Wait. I wouldn't say first anime, but I would say like first adventure anime, right? When you're because you know how like there's those animes that you watch that that everyone's watching and you're gonna watch those first, right? But then when you're trying to find anime that is more for you, you kind of start branching out and looking at small like little sub-series and genres and stuff. I think that this would be one of those series that someone would stumble upon if they're like on RIP Kiss Anime. I mean, but like you're 13, you're in middle school, you're like looking through animes, you see simulcast, you're like, oh, that looks kind of cool. And like I could see some 13-year-old or like me in middle school or high school, like early high school, just be like, oh man, that's cool. This is cool. This is an underrated gem, But now looking on it, the years go by, I would completely forget about it. Right? I do think it's one of those. It's a good first venture anime for someone who's like in middle school, and I won't hate it for that.
There's one thing I do want to say that I expected but didn't see anything of, which is like the typical anime fan service shit.
I will commend it on that. I will commend it on that.
It didn't do any of it that I saw in the first. Like
it had maybe like 2 or 3 shots of like Sasha. There was one camera frame. There's one camera frame that I do remember that really just because quite literally it was 3/4 of the screen was Sasha like after the castle had crashed and she was like all bent over and I was like, okay, that's
okay, yeah.
There was one instance,
but I don't remember it.
It was a big instance.
It. Yeah,
it made me laugh how bad it was though. So that's why
let's backtrack about like 20 seconds. Should a show be commended for not having fan service?
Yes. There's too much anime that has fan service.
Not to say that fan service is bad, but I do believe I do agree with Kenny in the sense that with an anime like this, as well as I didn't know if this was going to fit in the Demon King universe. We did talk about that we did talk about that. I didn't know if it was a spin-off universe, right? And that one was clearly just pure fan service, right? So the fact that I didn't get any of that or that extreme amount, right, that the other Demon King gave, I'm super happy.
Or any in this genre that usually have.
I'm glad it's not in the show, but at the same time, it's kind of like that shouldn't be bonus points just because it didn't have fan service in it.
It won't be bonus points for you, but it'll be bonus points for Kenny. It'll be bonus points for because that's your criteria.
But how many anime have you seen that has like a fan service scene and you're just like, oh, this is stupid. Why is this even in here?
Yeah, I mean, you know why it's there, though. We don't need to have that discussion. You know why it's there.
If it's not in there,
it's there to sell a wall scroll. It's there to sell the figures. It's there to cash in on the seasonal waifu, and it's also there, for the teenagers. You know why. You know why.
The only exception for fan service that I'll allow is Food Wars. Because the way they do it is fucking hilarious. It's so fucking funny how they do it.
As a person who has not seen Food Wars, I don't get that, but I
agree. Is that? I guess it is fan service. It is fan service, but dang, dude, like the way
it's so funny. The way it's executed. It's just like the first time I saw it, I was like, "How has no one done this before?" And like I'm sure some people have done it in a certain context in a certain way, but not like executed this well. Honestly.
Okay. All right.
Let's move on.
Let's wrap it up.
I think a no for Jazz and a no for Ash.
Yeah, sadly it's going to be a no for me.
Sadly, it's a yes for me, but it's more of a maybe.
The reason it's an unfortunate, right? I feel in the previous episode I was the most optimistic about this anime, right? In the sense that granted it
could have been good.
Yeah, I expected it to just be a little bit better. However, it wasn't as bad as you guys had kind of thrown it out to be. Granted, it still was bad. Yeah, I don't know. That's just
all right.
The optimism kind of struck me a little.
I do want to end it with one thing before we move on. What are you gonna rate it on my anime list?
Ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna rate any of these series.
Right, but like, what would
off
you?
Of the
what
two episodes?
I would rate it a 6. It's not bad per se, but I'm not gonna watch it.
So I think on my anime list 5 is average. I think this is a 5. This should be the base rating scale of what anime is, right? This is a 5. This is a very average anime.
Yeah, so for me, I was also gonna give it a 5, with the intention of watching 2 more to see
if it potentially goes up or down.
Yeah, it could fucking tank in episode 3, and I just leave halfway through, and it's like, yeah, it's a fucking 4 for me, dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree. All right. Well, that's our good first segment right there. We're gonna go ahead and transition into the second anime. Okay, so spoilers. Let's see here. All right, so we have segment 2, Woodpecker Detective's Office. So I'm going to go ahead and read the bio one more time for the people who didn't see the previous episode. So let's see here. It's the end of the Meiji era. The genius poet Ishikawa Takabuko is struggling financially, starts a detective business out of his lodging in response to a certain murder case. He calls it the Woodpecker Detective's Office, the ghost of the 12-story tower in Asakusa, the man-eating figure who wanders the streets on snowy nights. Takabuko involves himself in one bizarre case after another in his hometown acquaintance, Kendachi Kyosuke, as his assistant. I don't want to go first. However, I do just want to just immediately throw out this art style. This art style.
The art,
this
the
art
music,
style is
oh
my goodness.
Yo.
Kenny, you somehow managed to pick. Oh, I did
Look,
not see this.
look.
I am so glad that you managed to scroll all the way down at the simulcast list and found this beautiful thing, because holy cow, this art style.
If any of my employers and future employers see this, I have a great attention to detail.
I just want to say,
I don't leave any stone unturned.
it took a detective to find this series, and I'm so glad that you did. I am
my fucking hungry eyes, dude, saw it.
I want Kenny to go last. I honestly want Kenny to go last. Jazz, do you mind if I
let me whip out the notes?
There it is. Handy dandy notebook.
Let's go.
Sit down in a thinking chair and think.
Okay, so very first thing I wrote down is the music, dude. Music in this series.
Oh man.
Every time music played, it was good. There was not a song that I didn't notice. You know what I mean?
It wasn't stale.
Everything
it wasn't
was good.
stale.
Like, and like you said, the art style, the art was just beautiful, dude. Between the music and the art, dude, like, the show doesn't even have to be about anything. I like it.
Yeah, honestly.
It's I think there's a style. I think it's oil pastel. I think I want to make sure that I get this right.
All I know is it's great.
It's
whatever they did,
100%, dude.
Whatever they did, a fucking
intro, outro, the background music, dude. Everything was just good.
In terms of an aesthetic standpoint, 10 out of 10.
So I'm gonna start getting into like the details, the goods and the bads. So the first thing I liked character-wise, outside of the music and the art style, is the main character. He's kind of bold. So that part where he notices the Western guy, has blood on him, he starts like going through all the rooms, and I'm like, yo, this is
yeah.
I was like, ooh.
Man's a troublemaker out here.
Bold and troublemaker are words I would definitely classify.
My shit,
I like him.
Ishikawa, yeah.
His friend, on the other hand, is a weenie. I'm not a big fan, but
it's a good character dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. They do it for the duo, the contrast, and
yeah.
I guess that's fine. There's going to be more story developing that interaction right there. But as of, the first 2 episodes, since that's what we are reviewing.
Right.
I really like him. I really dislike the other guy because he's like the no
Kendachi.
guy. He says
Kendachi.
no to everything. What's his name?
Kendachi, I believe.
Oh yeah, Kendachi, that's right. But yeah, he just says no to everything, and that's like, I already dislike him. I have here, and this was just on the first episode, I think it kind of grew on me, but one of the notes is their tones get annoying. And so just them as they are, Kyosuke always speak a certain way, Kendaichi always speak a certain way, and just hearing them talk like that, it was, by the end of the first episode, I was like, I'm gonna get with them.
We're back.
You know what I mean? It was just that repetitive cadence, I guess. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the fact that he is a genius poet and he always talks in like a rhythmic kind of pattern. And if you don't like that, I can see how that's a problem because I think it's a huge part of his character.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get it. Right. It's one of those things that are hit or miss. Because he doesn't always speak in poems, but
I had the same issue with Demon Slayer, right? There's nothing wrong with their characters. It's just tone it down a bit. You don't need to be I can't remember their names, but all of them are like turned up to 11. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Anos, Misha, and Sasha. Those are really the characters that were introduced in Demon King.
Demon Slayer.
Oh, Demon Slayer. Okay. So Yeah.
Don't
Oh, I
care.
thought I thought you meant. Sorry, I thought you just misconfused. You had Inosuke, who was just loud, boisterous, and dumb. You had
Yeah, but at
Tanjiro.
11,
You had Tanjiro at like who was the good boy, who was at an 11, and then you
11,
had I always forget the
the
thunderclap.
shy one who was
Yeah.
11. It's like it gets annoying, you know. Like there's nothing wrong with their characters, just don't be annoying. You know what I mean?
Don't there's no need for you can be a shy character without literally hiding behind a wall every 2 seconds. There's no yeah, I see what you're
Without
saying.
screaming anytime someone's in your face.
Yeah, I see what you're saying now. Okay. So the character aspects or the attributes for them were dialed up pretty high.
Yeah, amplified. Um, I really do like a lot of the things that happen, like the scene where he planted the evidence to make his point. I thought that was really cool because obviously there was no getting through to the officer, and so he planted evidence, and I was like, dang, the way he played them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, nice. And I put that he's unfazed. It's just so many things outside of his world that he paid no mind to, and I love that about him, dude. That character was really cool.
Oh, just he's getting evicted, and he's like, "Well, it's not going to affect my morning breakfast." You know, homie's just like, "All right, well, I'm not going to let this ruin my meal." He's just like, "Yeah." His friend walks in. Hey, what's going on? And he's packing his stuff up. Oh, I got kicked out. You know, I'm being
I
evicted.
got kicked out.
Doing anything later tonight? Like, it's just.
He was so unfazed, and just like everywhere he went, he was not grabbed by this insignificant factors. You know what I mean? He stayed on track. He stayed with his purpose. Oh yeah, he's broke. That I know. I like that you brought up that he got evicted, because that's the next note. Is even though he has no money, the dude still goes to eat out. The dude still goes to
the red light district.
Yeah, I was thinking like, what do I call those?
It's called the red light district.
He partakes in worldly pleasures.
But has no money, and the dude's still going out. Like that's something I dislike about him, but it is his character.
It's his character, and I kind of like the fact that they gave him a flaw, you know, and they gave him a flaw.
Yeah,
and I don't even know if it is a flaw, because he says it helps with his poetry, and from what everyone keeps mentioning in the show. I mean, granted, it's only like 2 people that have mentioned it. One of them, I mean, obviously it's his friend, right? Who's like, do you know that you're a poetry genius? And he even throws out that compliment to him when they're just walking down the road after episode 1. And then you also know that he has pull as a poetry, I would say, professional, right? When he pulls in that doctor.
Yeah.
He's so like, that that guy looks at him in the cafe and is like, oh, they apparently study poetry together. And for someone as big as important as him to be talking to someone as broken, I wouldn't say unimpactful, but like just someone so average, right? You know that there's something of value, and the only thing that he's offering is his poetry. That you know that something's there,
right?
For sure.
That makes sense to me.
Anything else you'd like to add?
There are stuff, like really specific stuff, but we're just gonna say like the big things. So I like the end of the second episode, or say like the whole second episode, where him and his buddy are going at it. You're kind of like, how can you do this, dude? We've been friends since birth, and you're turning on me. You're getting me arrested. Like I know we were drunk. I know this is what you saw, but why are you doing this to me? Kind of thing, And at the end of it, spoiler alert, it just turns out that he was trying to hear all sides of the story for the other people in the group that we didn't know were there yet. But he was trying to distribute all of the stories so that they have as much information to go off of. And I was, at the end of that, I was just kind of like, that's kind of cool. I wouldn't say mind blown, just a little surprised in the sense that he took an approach that nobody would take. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't try to get you guys arrested just to hear your side of the story.
Right, exactly.
Right. Okay, so I want to go into it immediately with God, that animation, the art style of this. There are just some stills in the show that I was just watching and just being like, man, this is just eye candy. This really just it popped out.
It's fan service.
It's fan service, right? It really is though. Man, it was just. I mean, granted, there was some fan service in this anime, but it wasn't. I don't know. That was tasteful.
I was
It was
say,
tasteful.
was
It was
there? I guess there was. They went to the.
technically, yeah, but
Technically, yes,
because I
but
mean, anything involving a
I'll
red light
speak on
district,
that.
anything involving a red light district, you kind of have to like sell it as a red light district, right? I mean, but it was, like I said, done in a way that was, I don't know, it was tasteful. That's the only word I can really say. Now, that intro song as well as that outro, holy cow!
All the songs, dude.
It just, that intro, phenomenal. And then you had that outro. The outro really gets me too, because the outro kind of starts off with that female lead, and she's really, kind of, you think like, okay, this is going to be one of these calm songs. And then maybe 10, 15 seconds in, it just like kicks up, and you're just, oh, okay, we're doing this now. All right. Oh, and then just not to mention the beautiful visuals as well as the credits going behind it. It's just, that just hooked me in. We're also going to go about cliffhangers. Something really well that the show had 2 episodes, or we only watched 2 episodes, but they had 2 really good cliffhangers. We had the ending of the first episode where he said, "How did you know that the evidence was there?" And he said, "I didn't. I just planted it, right?" Oh, yeah, I don't know what happened, but I know that something's wrong, and I know that that guy's innocent. So you're like, wait, so what did happen, right? So in a way, it doesn't do the whole like to be continued, like cuts in the middle of like a murder scene or anything like that, right? However, it pulls you in. That first episode really pulls you in to be like, well, is he gonna solve it, or is he just gonna leave it, right? Because
I wrote down is that they never figured out the episode one.
It doesn't mean that that's not going to play a part into the story later on, right? I think that it might. However, you don't know if he's going to let the authorities take care of it or if he's going to do it himself. So that still kind of pulls you in to be like, well, what happens? And then at the end of the second episode, right? Obviously, spoiler alert. The police arrest his best friend, and you're like, what is going on? There's that slight smirk. You're like, wait, did he do this on purpose? And then the 2 people upstairs are like, we're gonna prove this man's innocence. You're like, wait, who are they? Right? You kind of know that they were in the cafe with them at some point, right? You know that they're friends, but you really don't know who they are.
Right.
And that's still another kind of hook for you, right? You're just thinking, did he do it? Does he actually believe that his friend killed him? Or granted, I'm pretty sure he doesn't. Right? Because I'm gonna forget this. I wanted to end on this, the big point. But it's good cliffhangers. They do a really good job of wanting to make you interested in pulling into that next episode. And then finally, that intro, the intro scene, not like the music.
Okay.
The way the anime opens up.
Okay, yeah.
The way that it starts, it immediately you start with Kendachi, who's like, it's been 10 years since the death of my best friend, and you're just, whoa, what? And it's him reminiscing in that apartment that they live in, and you see the weight on him as a character, walking through this really old nostalgic building that he used to live in, and it kind of pulls into a flashback, and that's when we start going into all the other characters, right? I just want to say, if that intro alone didn't hook you in, I honestly don't know what would. That right then and there, because you're thinking like, did he die? What happened, right? You want to know what happened between these two for this man to care so much to go back to a place that they grew up together or they made an impact on each other, right? You want to know if he was murdered. It's a detective thing, right? Obviously the anime is marketed as a detective story, Sherlock Holmes Watson kind of thing, right? So was he killed on the job? Did he have a disease? It leaves so many questions, and I was immediately just emotionally pulled in, not just I don't know, story wise. Yeah, but
I get it.
I'm definitely going to continue this. I'm going to see all of this. I am going to watch this through. And Kenny, go ahead, man. The mic is yours.
Well, see, I didn't really need to speak too much on this, right? Like, we talked about the art, we talked about the opening, the atmosphere, environment. All of it was really good. I did like how I had like a little slow ramp up in the first episode. Like, it wasn't like it was like, yeah, we're gonna talk about me reminiscing, but here's like this story within the story that we're gonna talk about that will eventually lead into the whole overarching thing. So I did like that. I do like the camaraderie between the two main characters, which is something I pointed out like in my notes for the first episode. So when the second episode rolled around, I was like, I just wrote this shit down. I was like, I like the chemistry between them. They're really cool. I'd like to see what happens, right? Real quickly, no, actually, I'm not gonna say this. I'll say this to you guys in private, but I'll move on. I do like a lot of the comedic timing that they had. Like, there wasn't a lot of comedy, but when it hit, it was really funny. Like there was like good bits of seriousness, good bits of levity. Like it like really flowed really well with
the
me.
pacing.
Never like one thing wasn't too serious, one thing wasn't too just light. It was all really just well done. Like it was all great.
I think to even further prove your point in terms of in the moment where moments didn't get too serious. Granted, they were able to do that, right? Mm-hmm. But even in moments like that, you had like when the confession or the testimony that he gave, mm-hmm. right? He was giving like his side of the story, and even when he was reminiscing through the story, funny things were happening inside of his testimony. Mm. Even though he's trying to prove his innocence and he's like crying to him, right? It was, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. That little, I don't know if I don't know if betrayal is the right word, but the way he kind of did throw his friend under the bus to get like more stories out of it, like more sides of the story out of it. Like I was like, oh shit, I was not expecting that. I wasn't like Jazz said, it didn't blow my mind. It did catch me off guard.
Yeah,
it did catch me off guard. I was like, did not expect that. That wasn't it, right?
He really does, in a weird way, remind me of LeBlanc in Knives Out. The whole, I look at the truth, and I don't, mm-hmm. disregard anyone as a suspect, and the truth mm-hmm. is the best way to get to where we need to go. So if it took him throwing his friend under the bus mm-hmm. for getting that testimony, he mm-hmm. was willing to do it just to get the truth.
Yeah.
And I also like how I think Jazz mentioned it before, just how ingenious and how outside of the box this character thinks, the main character, with the whole, like, he probably knew that he wasn't going to be able to talk to his best friend while he was locked up for being guilty for murder. Right. Mm-hmm. So he had to take the opportunity from himself to kind of put it like an emotional riff and put their friendship on the line to get as much information as possible to be like, okay, I know everything that happened.
Mm. And then the other thing, it doesn't really have to do exactly with the anime, but the last thing I just wanted to point out was just before I really even knew what like anime was, right? When I was a kid, I read a shit ton of books, and I still read books, but back as a kid, I read a shit ton of books. And some of the books I would read were like translated like Japanese type of stories, right?
Okay.
And so like from like historical times and shit. So like this anime like kind of brought like a wave of nostalgia from that like from those books that I would read as a kid. So like like I was never gonna be like, oh yeah, I want to go to Japan or anything, right? But like those historical books were cool as fuck. And that kind of like reminded me of like those times I would read those books and I'd be like, yeah, this is that good shit right here.
So
and then a quick note. Mm-hmm. This had like way more cleavage than the other show, and that was 100% unexpected.
The anime that we expected to have a lot of fan service and be like completely distasteful, didn't have any of that. And then this one had a little bit more of the fan service that
it had more doobie and booty, and I was like, okay. So this somehow, some way, The show with more fan service was better.
Last tidbit. We're gonna have the time period. The time period I want to throw out with this anime is really cool to me. So it takes place between 1868 and 1912. They don't put like a specific date on it.
Yeah.
At least I don't think. I didn't remember, but I do know that era is between that, right? So not a lot of technology is involved.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy that. I enjoy like the the magical worlds and the futuristic sci-fi and mechs and what yada yada yada. But it's kind of a breath of fresh air to see an anime just go back and go to a little time period where technology isn't like everything, but it's also not like completely gone. There was like trains and steam powered stuff, yada yada yada. So I think that was. I just gotta say that the time period placement too. That was really cool. That was something that I really liked. All right, to kind of wrap up the thoughts and process, or segment 2. I'm definitely watching it. Yeah. Kenny, you're watching
100%. Yeah, definitely.
Jazz, you're gonna be watching it.
I'm a little on edge, and here's why. Like, I do love the show. I like the show. I'm not gonna say love. I do like the show, but I'm also watching other anime. so I don't know if it's gonna. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna like
It's on the shelf, but you may pull it out.
Yeah.
Okay. So technically, as of right now, we'll say no. We'll say no. Kenny and I, however, don't really have too many on our shelf. So I think we're probably going to go right into it. I look forward to it. I'm really happy, and I really just want to see where this goes. Not to mention, I think you would all. I kind of figured Jazz might say no to this, and here's why. Granted, I knew I fell in love with it, and I had a good time with it. It's a mystery anime. It's something that heavily involves plot and murders to be airtight and things like that. And I know Jazz has a really good tendency to immediately strike fallacies within stories and plot lines. Yeah, and I mean, like really, really do that well. So if there's anything off about any one of these murders, it will completely ruin the immersion or the.
Yeah, I do have I do have something that's kind of nitpicky about it, and it's like a lot of this stuff so far, like as far as like the actual detective work, has been a bit of a stretch, right? Like yeah, it's not like this is like really cool little fucking reveals and shit. It's kind of a stretch, but like. But I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay with it being a stretch. I'm okay with just like letting the story develop, letting the narrator tell the story as he wants, right?
So. I also hope that at some point that they're going to go more into the detective aspect. And granted, it was a little bit lacking in the first 2 episodes. I mean, there was murder, there was those cases and stuff like that, and obviously there was certain things. However, I kind of want more of a
Detective Conan.
Yeah. In a weird way, I feel like I'm gonna let the show get to a point where it does do that. Because I don't know if it does, but
I think it will because so far we've only had the 2 characters, and they just introduced more.
Right. All right. Well, so now that is going to go ahead and end our segment on the 2 animes that we watched from the previous week. Thank you guys so much. Obviously we did go through a lot of spoilers, and as of right now, we need to pick we need to reveal the animes that are still in the drawing for this upcoming week.
Yep, which is the ones you guys picked.
Correct. Now, Kenny, if you would like to make it a full list of 6, we can add 2 more simulcasts on your end. Okay, gotcha.
No, I'm good. I think
you just want to refill the entire.
Like, I think we should just go through. We eventually will go through the 6 that we picked, right? Because those are the ones we're most interested in, right? As a group. So we should watch those 6. It's just when we do the drawing thing, obviously it's going to be like whatever gets pulled first. That's what we watch first.
All right.
Eventually we will get through those 6. That's how I saw it. That's how I feel it should be. Because
also, if you keep replenishing the 6, mine will never get watched.
Yeah, that's
true. I was
gonna say that. Like, somebody's gonna have really bad luck, Jazz, and we're never gonna watch the 2 he picked. And the 2 he picked, I'm like, I want to watch those. Like,
all right. So to remind and refresh everyone what anime are still on the to draw list, we have Peter Grill, Monster Girl Doctor. Those are the two that I had picked. Kenny, like we said before in episode 0, he somehow managed to snipe both slots with Woodpecker Detective Office
I just
and
don't
Demon
miss.
King Academy. And
I
then Jazz
don't
has
miss.
My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu as well as Rent a Girlfriend. Before we draw, is there any no, we'll do that after. Expectations. We'll do expectations of the ones that we have. Right.
Of the ones we pick.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen real quick. That way everyone knows that I'm not fudging these dice rolls.
Right.
All right, so here we are. So Peter Grill is 1, Monster Girl is 3, 5 and 6. If we roll a 5 and 6, which were Kenny's 2 rolls, then we'll just roll again. Yeah, we'll re-roll. My Team Romantic Comedy Snafu.
Isn't there like don't you have a 4 die thing?
Oh yeah, there is. But it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll roll a d4 to make things just a little bit. I'd say fair. All right. And anime number 1 is going to be Peter Grill. All right. Trash. So that one's
boo.
We'll go ahead and read the synopsis for that one after we're done. And then now we have the second one.
And literally,
Monster Girl Doctor.
This is why we don't replenish them.
Yeah, this is why we aren't replenishing though. So the 2 I was looking forward to most are the ones that Jazz
picked. And not only that, but we somehow managed to. I like how this show's off, or I like how this podcast is starting off. We just have immediate rolls of people's picks. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
So we have.
I am upset.
So we know that
upset is just bottomless and just.
So next week we are going to be reviewing Peter Grill as well as Monster Girl Doctor, and then the following week, because there's only 2 anime remaining, it'd be both of Jazz's picks, which are Romantic Comedy Snafu and Rent a Girlfriend. I'm very excited to see all of these animes, to be completely honest. But let's go ahead and go into a quick synopsis and give a quick idea of.
Don't read the bios.
We're not going to be reading the bios.
No, because we'll be doing that, in the next episode, anyways. When we.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we're just gonna.
Just the poster?
If you want, we can do just the poster.
Just the poster. All right.
Yeah.
We'll do just the poster. And we'll try to glean anything off of it.
Mm.
Oh no, this is already looking rough. This is. All right. Let's see here.
Yeah, we'll just do some initial impressions based off the posters and then move on.
All right. So I'm just pulling the posters from the websites and opening them into a new tab, so that way we
just pure no
bio, nothing to potentially I would say swayed us or anything like that. All right. So first up, we're gonna do Peter Grill and the Philosopher's Stone. I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen with me. There we go. All right. This already looks
fan service.
Look,
this is just fan service. The anime.
I already know I'm not gonna like it. There's a chance I may not even want to watch the second episode.
Damn.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
I want to go into the justifications as to why I picked something like this. Obviously, I wanted to pick something that I knew Kenny would hate. If I'm being completely honest, I wanted to pick something that Kenny would hate. Mission successful? Yes or no?
Potentially. It looks like something I'm not gonna like whatsoever.
Okay, you got the weird ugly bastard in the background. This honestly, the female to male ratio on this poster is just
every poster.
It's a bear. It's really funny that this is why I know I'm gonna like it. I'm not gonna like it. Excuse me. I'm gonna dislike it.
Hey, there you go.
This is why I know I'm gonna dislike it, and it's because the main character is the smallest person on this poster,
and he's naked.
I don't care about that. That's nothing to me. That doesn't faze me. the fact that he's the smallest, meaning that he's gonna be like
he is the back burner.
Yeah, he's gonna be the butt of every joke. Like,
He's a nobody that all the girls follow around.
This is gonna be tragic. This is gonna be, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to every terrible minute of this.
I see the Coliseum. I see the tournament pad. I see the dude in knight armor.
You know how I feel about tournaments, bro. You already know how I feel about that.
I do like a good tournament, honestly. But the characters have to be compelling enough for me to even like it. Like, if the characters in the tournament are trash, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck about this tournament. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I don't care who wins.
Now we have Monster Girl Doctor.
So again,
already.
You
have to literally weed through like an entire like haystack of female protagonists, or you know what I mean, like side characters, just to even get like an inch of the main character.
So for this one, I bet one of these is a dude. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, the one in the middle is a dude.
Ladies and gentlemen,
other than the main character.
All right, so
yeah, all I know is these look like 100% no's to me. Like these both of these shows look like if I was just scrolling independently, I wouldn't even think twice of just keep scrolling. Like it's just like it's like when I'm on Tinder and swiping left and right, bro. This is a fucking left.
This is an immediate no.
This is immediate left. This is a mom with 2 kids living at home,
right?
Like with her parents.
The only thing that I'm really hoping for, right, is
working
that
at least a dead end job.
I at least hope that I get some good laughs out of them, because sometimes like I've been a little bit more forgiving on like tragic and terrible animes that look like this, right? I've been a little bit more forgiving on them because sometimes the comedy will just be like 10 out of 10. For example, Konosuba. Like I feel that Konosuba is world building's not crazy. You know, like, I think honestly the comedy of that show really just carries it, right? I mean, from most of the anime fans, they're gonna be like, it's the waifus, right? But in my opinion, it's the situations that the characters put themselves in, as well as the comedy, just really carries that show. Granted, there's a ton of fan service in them, right? You still just can't help but watch it because it's just so damn funny.
I feel that.
I hope. Granted, we had mentioned before.
This so hard.
We mentioned before, especially for you, Kenny.
I'm about to put this shit in the fucking trash can and burn it.
I really just hope that we get some really good comedy out of this.
I mean, for me, like that's all it could have that I would be okay with, right? But like I feel like the comedy is gonna be like the stupid, like putting the main character in uncomfortable situations. Like that's not funny to me. That's just like, okay, whatever. You're just putting your boobs in his face. Okay.
And he doesn't like that. And
peak fucking comedy, right? Let's talk about the other show we just dunked on because it was so fucking funny, right? Fucking Demon King, the fucking 3-second rule, impeccable joke. His parents, fucking hilarious. Like they didn't miss on their jokes.
No, they did not. Absolutely.
This and none of those were, I'm gonna put my boobs in your face, or no, you landed on my face. That sucks. I'm suffocating because your fucking 98-pound body frame is on top of me. Don't care. That's not funny.
It's not. Really. It's not. Those jokes will never be good. However, like I said, I'm just hoping for the Konosuba effect, right? Like where the anime is kind of framed in a weird way to just like be like waifu bait, right? But just have really funny, really good impeccable comedy.
Let's entertain the waifu bait here. Who the fuck here is a waifu bait? The guy of all the people. The fucking snake girl? No. The blonde with the fucking horn coming out of her face? Maybe. Maybe the dark-haired girl at the top.
The dark-haired girl at the top.
The bottom right.
But wait, who?
The Cyclops in the bottom right corner.
In the bottom right corner, there's a Cyclops girl.
Oh, Jazz, I didn't know you were into that, man. Damn, that's crazy.
It might be
12, bro. You better.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
like,
no,
calm the
Kenny,
fuck
Kenny.
down.
Oh no, it's gonna be a no for me on that black-haired one, Kenny.
Why? I
Do
don't
you
know.
see? Do you? I need you to look very closely into the details, like close to the right side of her. Those look like spider legs.
Oh, they do.
She's a spider.
That's all right. I'm a
You
leg
know
guy.
what? You know what? We. You know what?
I'm
We'll see.
convinced.
We'll see how. We'll see how she is.
I'm convinced.
We'll see how she is. All right, guys. That's gonna wrap up this episode of Two Tap Anime. Thank you so much for watching. We're gonna go ahead and sign off.
Play the outro.
Play the
Wait,
outro.
real
Yes.
quick. What's that other Monster Girl show?
Monster
This look.
Musume.
I've never
count.
watched it. I've watched some people will post like clips of it like on Twitter and shit, just like because out of context it's like funny or some shit.
Yeah.
This looks like the Diet Dr. Pibb version of that.
God, I on it. Is there okay? I want to know. Is there a Diet Dr. Pibb? Oh, it exists. Oh, it actually exists. It's there's
like
Diet.
Pibb Zero.
There's Pibb Zero, Pibb Extra, and
Yeah.
Diet Mr. Pibb.
That's pretty funny. All right, let's fucking wrap this bitch up because we've gone off the rails here.
Correct.
This looks like the super cheap knockoff. Yeah, the super cheap knockoff of already. Like for me, it's not that great of a fucking anime. Like, god damn it! Like it's.
We had such heavy hitters. We had such heavy hitters that I figured that if we had to throw in some dumpster fire, right? We had to. I just didn't expect both of them to immediately get picked at the same time.
God. Well, at least this makes me look forward to Jazz's picks more.
Oh yeah, the following week is just gonna be
Oh god.
Boom. Right.
Can't wait to see these shows. Wow.
Thanks for tuning in. Cue the outro.
For all these audio listeners who aren't watching the VOD, the disappointed look that Kenny just gave to the camera as he was saying that, I want to frame it. I want to frame it. It just looks so. It's son. I'm not angry with you. I'm disappointed. That's the look that he just gave.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in these shows. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, when we put the pool together, I didn't even see like the shows. Like I didn't see the ones you picked. I just
you just knew the ones that you picked.
Yeah, I just saw the ones that I picked, and I saw the ones that Jazz picked because I was interested in his as well, right?
Right, you were making the decision between those picks as well.
Yeah. So when yours, I was like, oh, it's just some Ashen fucking anime. This is gonna be whatever, right? And then I remember now that when we made the term Ashen anime, it was because they were like these fucking terrible, like,
oh yeah,
fucking shitty fan service type
waifu
of
baits.
Shit. Yeah, well, fucking waifu baits. I was like, I gotta bring that term back, all right? Because we got two of them.
We got
two of them right here.
For some lore and backstory, guys. I think
some fucking Jazz, Ashen, and Kenny backstory, bro. Back when we did all watch anime together.
What anime did I recommend that I didn't know? I know one of them wasn't my fault. I knew one of them just so happened, like it actually genuinely interested me. I don't remember what anime it was, but weekly we would watch anime at Jazz and Maze's house, and Maze is Jazz's brother. We would watch anime very, very frequently.
Like every day, basically.
Yeah, we'd play video games, we'd listen to music, and then we'd end it like before we went to bed by watching a couple episodes of an anime. And at a point, it would come to we finish the series, and someone would recommend something else, and then the group would kind of just like, okay, yeah, whatever. I think I recommended an anime that just completely wasn't what I expected it to be, and it was just pure fan service. And it was like, oh, this is what you're into, Ashton. These are the Ashton animes. This is what you watch at home, and I'm just. This isn't what I expected. This isn't what I wanted. I am also not complaining, but I'm more complaining at the fact that I'm just going to be stapled and labeled that this is going to be the anime that I enjoy. But now that I picked the booby animes on the list and they both get picked, it just is gonna cement that I'm the degenerate of the three of us here, and you know what? At this point, I'm just gonna have to own up to it, I guess.
As
Because
far as anime goes, yeah, you're a fucking degenerate, right? As far as like life in general, I'm the degenerate. It's me.
Yeah. All right. Well, looking forward to next time. This is Sky Left Link, Ashton signing off.
You can go.
Jazz's audio just cut out just immensely.
Really?
I heard him open his mouth and I felt
That was
the presence of words come out, but nothing came out.
I felt the words. I didn't hear the words.
Oh yeah.
I said Mayday. That's me. Okay.
That's me.
Good night,
Temporarily until next time. And I'm Kenny. You can find me, Food Kenny, like literally anywhere. So do that.
All right.
I don't care.
We'll see you guys all next week. Appreciate you stopping by. Bye.